muted.
Okay, great. Yeah, before we start our session, let's see what we covered in our previous class, okay? So in our previous class, we just got introduced to the concepts related to microprocessor. What is a microprocessor, and then saw a basic architecture level or programming model of 8-bit microprocessor 8085. Excuse me. And then we saw how a machine code looks for adding two numbers, right? And then we saw like what are the difficulties in understanding like with the machine code itself. And then the people have come up with the assembly language to make things easier and understand and things, right? Then we saw an example which we saw in machine code, the same example in assembly language. Okay, then we got introduced to our computer languages, that is high level languages, and we understood like how we like the evolution of the languages from machine language to assembly language to high level languages, right? Okay, let's say today what we are going to cover. Okay. So we'll get introduced to the three number systems today. The three important number systems that an IT professional should be aware of is binary, octal, and hexadecimal. Okay, and then we will see an high-level overview of operating systems, and then we will see what is JDK and why do we need JDK, what is an Eclipse and why do we need Eclipse, and we'll see the steps to install JDK as well as Eclipse. Okay, and then we will start our discussion on Java with a simple example, the traditional way, that is with Hello World program. Okay. Okay. Hope I am audible to everyone. Please confirm me if I'm audible. Okay. Is my the voice little low or something like that? Okay. Is it fine now? Okay. Yeah. We'll get started with the number system. Okay. So we know from our previous session that computers can understand only zeros and ones because they are made up of electronic devices or the component called transistor, which will have only two states, that is 0 or 1 state, that is on or off state. All right, that is the basic thing which a computer can understand. Okay, 0 or 1. Okay, so whatever we see on the screen or whatever we do with the computer, right, that gets translated into zeros and ones internally inside the computer. Okay, so like in our day-to-day life, what we are aware of, which number system? The number system which we are aware of is decimal number system. Okay, it is called as positional number system, and it will have a couple of things. That is, one is we represent those the numbers with symbols. Okay, which represent digits in any number system for that matter. Okay, and the value, whenever you write a number, the value of the number is nothing but a combination of digits, right? The value of each digit or value of each digit is dependent on the position where it is. Okay, we'll see that. Okay, so the value is determined by the digit, three things, that is the digit, the position of the digit in the number, and the base of the number system. whatever it may be. It may be decimal, octal, hexadecimal, or binary. Okay, let's see some simple formula how to arrive at the total value of a number, okay, and individual value of a digit. Okay, for example, in decimal system, we can use like say for example, we take a 4-digit number, that is 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so how do we get the number, total number? The total value of the whole number is 1234, right? How do we get that? We will get it by the number multiplied by the base of the number system, where here B represents the base, okay, base of the number system to the power, okay, that is we start from 0 and then go higher towards left side, okay, that is 4 is multiplied by base to the power of 0, 3 is multiplied by base to the power of 1, 2 is multiplied by base to the power of 2, 3 is multiplied by base to the power of 1, sorry. Okay, so in this case we can't use base 2, okay, for just for your information, because we have digits 2, 3 and 4, right? So we can use base, for example, base 16, base 8 and base 10, okay, or if at all any other number system which has the numbers 1 to, which covers 1 to 5, 1 to 4, 0 to 4, okay. So for decimal, how do we arrive at this number? 1 into base, just represent that, I mean substitute B with 10, because we are taking the decimal system, right? So 10 to the power of 1 into 10 to the power of 3, 2 into 10 to the power of 2, 3 into 10 to the power of 1, 4 into 10 to the power of 0. So that total value will be 1234. Okay, so decimal system is natural to us because we have 10 fingers. We use decimal system, okay, so that we can count our fingers up to 1 to 10. Okay, so that is what is the natural thing which we learn from our childhood, right? So as computer professionals, apart from decimal system, we should be aware of, as I told you, 3 other number systems, that is binary, octal and hexadecimal. Okay, in binary we have only 2 digits, that is 0 and 1, okay, and its base is 2. Octal we have 8 digits, 0 through 7, okay, and the base is obviously it is 8, okay. And hexadecimal we have 16 digits, 0 through 9 and then A through F, okay. So if you can count A, B, C, D, E, F, okay, 0 through 9 plus A through F, right? So these are 16 digits of hexadecimal number, and the base is obviously it is 16. Okay, let's see how individual number systems, that is binary, octal and hexadecimal. Okay. Okay, let's start with the binary number system. So the digits available here which we can use it, or the symbols for digits is 0 and 1. Okay, as I mentioned, each position represents a power of 2 starting from 0. Okay, say for example 1 0 1 0 1 is there. Okay, the subscript we mentioned here is 2 because it represents the base of the number system which we are working with. Okay, so to convert any number system to decimal, what we do, we just multiply the number or the digit with the base to the power of that position number. Okay, starting with 0 from left to right, right to left. Okay, so 10101 is equal to 21 in decimal system. Okay, that's what how that is what is the value that we have calculated using the powers of 2 multiplied by the individual digit. Okay, now we saw in our first session that 1 kilobyte is equal to 10 to the power of 24. 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes, right? So how did we arrive at that value? why we call, like whenever we call 1 kilo, it is 10 power 3, right? It is 1000. But in computer science subject, it is 1024. Whenever you say 1 kilobyte, it is 1024 bytes. Okay, so if you count, or if you take the power of 2, right? Because that is a number system which are 0 and 1, which the computer can understand, right? If you take the power of 2, 2 to the power of 10 is equal to 1024. Okay, which is very near to 1000. Okay, that is why we always take 2 to the power of 10 as 1k. That is 1 kilobyte. For bytes, it is 1024. I mean, 1 kilobyte is equal to 1024 bytes. That's how we arrive at the. That is how the assumption is. Okay, the nearest value to kilo, that is 1000 in computer systems, is 1024. That is 2 to the power of 10. That is why whenever we say 1 kilobyte, it is 1024 bytes. Okay, 1 megabyte, similarly 1 megabyte is equal to 1024 into 1024. Okay, so that's how we calculate kilo in computer systems. Okay, computer science. Let's move on to the octal number system. So the available digits here are 0 through 7. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 and 7. Okay. So as in a binary number system, it is like it is represented. I mean, each position is represented by the power of 8. Okay, starting from 0, the rightmost digit, and we increase the power of 8, 1 for each position. Okay. Let's move on to the next slide. So the value of, for example, we have taken 1, 2, 3, 7. Okay, the equivalent value in decimal is 671, 671. Sorry. Okay, and we have hexadecimal number 0 through 9 and A through F. It can be capital or it can be small letters. Okay, so we will represent each position with 16 to the power of x. X can be 0 through any value, it depends on the position. Okay, from 0 will be the rightmost digit, and then we go. I mean, we increase the power by 1 for each digit position. Okay, so for example, 19 FDE. Like in base system 16, and the equivalent value is 106462 to the power of, 62 in decimal system. Okay, so if you see all the three systems, that is binary, octal, and hexadecimal, to convert it into decimal system, we just multiply each digit with its position weight. That is nothing but the power of the base system, that is 16 for hexadecimal, 8 for octal, 2 for your binary. Okay, that's how we convert from other number system to decimal. Okay, so now we'll give an exercise to you. So we know how to convert binary, octal, or hexadecimal to decimal number system. So the other way, that is any number which is in decimal, you convert it into respective number system, that is binary, octal, and hexadecimal. Okay, that will be an exercise for you to do tomorrow before coming to the class. Okay, this will be an assignment for all of you, for which you have to do before coming to next class. Okay, you just have to practice it. Just go through online or whichever the book you get. Just try to see like how to do that. Okay, conversion of decimal number to octal, binary, octal, and hexadecimal. Okay. Any questions you have till this point? If you have any question, please raise your hands. I'll unmute you, and then you can ask your questions. Okay, let's move on to the next slide. Let's say what do we have. Okay, so let's see the basics of an operating system. What is an operating system? So all these things, this forms the foundation for learning your Java in a very good way, or it makes your basics of Java strong. Okay, so I would request all of you to listen to these things carefully, okay, and try to go through the sessions again and again, okay, and remember whatever we have discussed in our sessions, okay. So what is an operating system? We have seen the hardware that are involved in our computer systems, okay. So we have seen something called as machine language. We have seen something called as assembly language. And where does this operating system comes into picture? Okay, so as we see in our diagram, operating system, we have 4 levels, right? One is hardware, which actually makes the bare bones of your computer system, right? Whatever is there, like which you can see, touch, and all those things, right? And then on top of it, your operating system comes into picture. And then on top of your operating system, what are the applications that you install, they will be running. They will make use of operating system to kind of like use the resources, hardware resources that is required for those applications. Okay, what do we do with those applications? We interact with those applications to do our things, whatever it may be. Okay, so it is a, what is this operating system? It is a software system which actually manages your computer hardware and software resources. Okay, it not only manages computer hardware and software resources, but also provides common services. Say for example, services means, say for example, you are running an application. Okay, for that matter, you are using your browser, right? For that browser to run, you need memory, physical memory, that is your RAM. Okay, and to connect to the net, you need the network services, right? And it might need, say for example, you are downloading some image, okay, from the browser. So for that, you need the hard disk space, okay. So all these things, that also, in that also your like your browser is running in your physical memory, okay, and for that you need CPU time for that, right? CPU has to execute the instructions that are loaded in your physical memory. So you need CPU resource, you need memory, both physical as well as hard disk for saving your images or whatever you are downloading, and you need your network service. Okay, so all these things and much more will be provided by the operating system. Okay, so any application that you want to run that needs to go through the operating system to get the hardware resources, be it memory, be it hard disk, or be it CPU, or be it the network related hardware, okay, that are there, that are installed in your computer. Okay, so what are the, we are familiar with the different operating systems, right? Oh, excuse me. So we are familiar with different operating systems, right? The most famous operating system that we are familiar is Windows, right? The latest version is Windows 10. So, and then Unix operating systems, you know, Unix, Linux, and OS X. OS X and Linux are just the different flavors of Unix. Okay, so the we won't see much of a difference on OS X, Linux, and Unix except for the kernel level things. Okay, but in case of OS X, you can see rich UI, which is nothing but Apple's core operating system. Okay, so those are the examples of normal operating system. Let's see a simple example of different components of an operating system. Taking Unix as an example, just a high level. Okay, so let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so before that, we'll see the two main different types of operating system. Okay, so one is single and multitasking operating systems. As the name suggests, single tasking operating system can run only one program at a time, but multitasking, you can run multiple programs concurrently. Say, I mean, modern day operating systems all are multitasking operating systems. You name it, they're all multitasking operating systems. Okay, and single user and multi-user operating systems, as the name suggests, it is a single user operating system recognizes only one user per system. But multi-user operating system, it extends the multitasking capability of a operating system to multi-users to use the same system by multiple users. Okay. So let's move on to the next one, next slide. That is the main core of an operating system. Okay. So the as you can see in the diagram, we have three layers. One is the hardware, that is different devices, memory, and the CPU. They are the hardware. On top of that, we see the kernel. Okay, on top of kernel, we see applications, right? So, what is this kernel? Okay, the kernel is like it's a core of an operating system. Okay, that is a we can call that as a system software, because the system softwares are the softwares which are written in either assembly level languages or mid high level languages like C or C++. Okay, for system calls. Okay, so what this assembly level languages does, as we have seen, they directly interact with your hardware for whatever the resources that you need when you run your application, be it your memory, be it your CPU, be it your network services, whatever it is. Okay, all these things. So when you say kernel, that is at the core of your operating system, which provides various numbers of various services like memory management, like how the programs access different hardware resources. Okay, and it can organize your data for long-term storage of your data using your file system, Windows file system, Unix operating system file system, and it provides network services, security services, and provides users with user interface. That is what we interact with our system. Whatever we do with our system on a day-to-day basis, that is what is the UI provided by the operating system for us to use the system. Okay, all those services are provided by the operating system, which are handled by the kernel, which directly interacts with the hardware. As we can see in the diagram, it directly interacts with the CPU, it directly interacts with memory for memory organization, memory allocation, all those things, and it directly interacts with your input-output devices, network devices, whatever it may be. Okay, it also directly interacts with your CPU for executing the instructions that are written for the application that you are running. Okay, so how does it do it? It uses something called as the firmware and device drivers. Okay, device drivers are nothing but softwares which help us, which kind of like interface between your computer system and the device that you connect to your computer system. For example, your mouse, your keyboard. Okay, those are all they come with their own device drivers. You have to, if you want to use them, you have to use you have to install the device drivers particular to that hardware. For example, your USB drive. Okay, so all those things. Firmware is nothing but as I told you, system software, which are basically written in assembly language for direct access to all your hardware. Okay. So do you have any questions till now? Okay, I assume no one has any questions. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. Okay, as I told you, let us see what are the different things that are there. You are taking Unix OS as an example. Okay, so we have a diagram here. Okay, the Unix operating system. I would suggest all of you to refer to some online tutorial for Unix. Okay, we might be doing the main reason for telling this is we might be practicing all these things, whatever the programs that we discuss are in core Java training or in advanced Java training or in your UI training. Okay, so whatever the topics that we discuss, right? We will be kind of like using Windows as the main operating system. Okay, but when you join a company, okay, and start working, you will be having your own desktop, or you might be provided a laptop based on the company. Okay, but whatever the servers that you see, okay, whatever the be it there are different stages. Okay, like you will have development environments, you'll have stage environments. In stage you'll have a number of different levels. Okay, and then you'll have production environments where your actual applications will be running. Okay, in all these environments, development stage and production, all the systems are Unix based systems. Okay, if at all you want to interact or you want to do something in those systems, majority of the companies, okay, majority of the companies use Unix based operating system. Okay, so better to have a good idea on Unix operating system plus the user level commands related to Unix operating system. Okay, without which it will be difficult. So that is why just I am giving you a brief introduction on Unix OS, not exactly introduction on Unix, introduction on Unix like just what it contains, the operating structure of operating system. Like if you can enhance this particular knowledge with commands and other shell scripting knowledges and all, which will definitely give you an edge, okay, when you join a company. Okay, so as we can see from the diagram, we see different layers, right? So first one is the computer hardware, and then we see the kernel, which is nothing but it is defined as operating system itself. Okay, then it comes user interface, and then utilities and programs. Okay, so earlier when people used to use Unix, right? Unix did not have kind of like a user interface like we see in our Windows, right? So everything used to be like using a shell. Whatever you want to kind of like do, you have to do it using a shell. Okay, but nowadays we have various flavors of Unix. That is, you have Linux, different flavors of Linux itself. Okay, and then we have Mac OS, OS X. Okay, so all of them, like Linux and Mac OS X, right? Different flavors of Linux as well. So they have we have Solaris as well from Sun Microsystems, which is now Oracle. Oracle bought Sun Microsystems, right? They have Solaris. Okay, that is also a flavor of Unix. Okay, so all these things are based on this particular structure of Unix operating system. They have kernel, three important parts. That is kernel, shell, and the programs. Programs is nothing but utilities or that you use. Okay, so let's start with the kernel. As we know, kernel is the main thing which actually handles all the hardware related stuff. Okay, it is at the core of your operating system. So here also in be it Windows or be it Unix based systems. When I say Unix, it can be Unix, it can be Linux, or it can be Mac OS X. Okay, so that is what we saw, like how it handles different tasks related to like memory management, task scheduling, or file management using file system, all those things. Okay, that is the core of your operating system. When you say operating system, that is your kernel. Okay, when somebody tells like they are working on developing operating system, they will be actually working on developing the kernel of that particular operating system. Okay, and then we need something to interact with, right, as end users of this particular system. We in Unix we use mainly the shell to interact with the Unix operating system. We are talking about the Unix operating system. That's why it is a shell. We have a shell for Windows also. That is your command prompt. Okay, when you go to start and type on CMD and enter right in the search button, so you'll get the command prompt, right? That is the shell for Windows. Similarly, we have a shell for Unix, okay, for interacting with the operating system, whatever we want to do. So what it does, whatever we type on the shell, that gets that is interpreted as commands, and then it is passed to kernel for whatever the operations that we have asked to be done. Okay, then kernel does its work and gives back the response to the shell again, which is interpreted by shell, and it will be thrown back to the user. Okay, that's how the shell works. Okay, so since in any company, right, in wherever you go, okay, you will have your Windows system. You'll not be provided the Unix system, right? So from the your Windows system, you remotely connect to your Unix systems. Okay, so yeah, there are places where you can access the UI, remote UI from Unix system in your Windows system, but that is very rare. Okay, but you can do that, but that is rare. Most of the times what we do in industry, right, we remotely connect to that particular Unix operating system. Okay, and we will be working on shell. Okay, that is why it becomes very important for us to be familiar with Unix operating system and basics of Unix commands. Say for example, to copy you have a CP command, to move a file from one location to another location you have a MV command, or to rename a file you use the same MV command, or for that matter any other operations, right, you'll be doing on, you have to do it on shell. So that's why you should know normally used or commonly used, at least commonly used Unix commands. Okay, so that will be like whenever you join, probably as a fresher you might get training, but as experienced people, you will be expected to know all those things. Okay, and the commands and utilities. On top of your shell, you see commands and utilities. Whatever the command that you type, say for example, copy, CP command, or move, they're all programs. Okay, they sit on top of your operating system to be used by the user through shell programs. Okay, so like like you install different applications on your Windows, right? Similar to that, you can install different applications on your Unix operating system also. That also forms a part of your this one. What is it? On top of your shell, all those things sit. Okay, whatever you do, that again kind of like interacts with shell and goes to your kernel. Okay. Any questions till now? Okay. Okay, let's move on to the next topic. So hope I'm audible to everyone. Yeah, it is. I have a question here. So, has DOS got shell? Okay, so Windows operating system is based on DOS, right? So, like the DOS, when you like it is the primitive, like Windows itself is developed on top of your DOS. Okay, DOS was a when we did not have user interface for Windows. When we did not have user interface for Windows like we have now, okay, we used to use command prompt. Like we get our when you click on start and search your, when you give CMD, right, you get a command prompt, right? That is the shell for Windows. Okay, before we had the UI for Windows, we used to interact with Windows operating system using that command prompt. Hope I answered the question. Okay, the shell in Windows itself is like command prompt. Okay, DOS, when you say DOS prompt or command prompt, that is the same thing, the shell for Windows. Not exactly before Windows 95. It is like we had before 95 we had other Windows versions also. It was like maybe the early days of Windows operating system. Okay, maybe, I mean, I don't remember exactly when it was, but early days of Windows, or you can say DOS operating system. Okay, yeah, okay. Let's move on to the next topic. Okay, so now we will see what is, I mean, like we are concentrating on core Java, right? We are concentrating on core Java training. Okay, so what are the basic things or basic requirements that we need to work on this core Java training? Okay, so the basic things that we need are, one is JDK and other is Eclipse. Okay, so JDK is nothing but a Java development kit. Okay, as the name itself suggests, it's a tool for developing your Java applications and applets. Not many people use applets now. Earlier, applets came into picture for using in internet. Okay, now nobody uses. Most of the people don't use it. Okay, so it is kind of obsolete now. Normally, as Java developers or as advanced Java developers, UI developers will not bother about applets. Okay, so we'll not worry about applets as of now. So it provides a software development environment for developing our Java applications. Okay, so minimum requirement that we need for developing any Java application, for that matter, any simple Java application, we need Java development kit that we need to download it from Oracle site. Now you all might know that Oracle bought Sun Microsystem. Sun Microsystem, the Java is originated from Sun Microsystem, right? So what does it contain? So it contains many of the tools. The main tools that is needed are Java runtime system, okay, JRE, a loader, and a compiler. Okay, those are the main things which we will be using extensively. Okay, and other tools are also there. For example, there are tools for kind of like archiving your Java files, whatever the files that you generate, right? Whatever the file that you compile or the source that you compile, right? You can combine all those things and club it into an archive file. Like archive file is nothing but your kind of like a zipped version of your file, Java class files. Okay, and then the two important things are a compiler, Java compiler, and a loader. These two are needed for your development, because you write a Java program. First you have to compile it, right? And then you have to run that program. Just by compiling you will not get anything. You have to run that program. So for compiling you need Java compiler, and for running your programs you need a loader, Java loader. Okay, say for example you have a Java application. Okay, you have a Java application. You are not developing any Java application. You have a Java application. You can have a Java application as an archive file, JAR file. Okay, .jar file. Okay, you are not developing. Please note, you are not developing it. Okay, you just want to run that jar file. You don't need the JDK for that. Okay, you just have to have Java runtime system. Okay, just if you have Java JRE installed in your system, you can run that application, whatever the Java application you have in your .jar file. Okay, we will see all these things like what is .jar file, how to run .jar file, all those things when we get to that point. Okay, the main thing now is the compiler and the loader, that is Java. Okay, those are the things that comes with your Java development kit for developing your Java application. Any simple Java application requires Java development kit. Okay, so what does this loader does? Java loader. Whenever you say, like, the command for loading a class is Java, and for compiling it is Java C. Okay, compiling it is Java C. Okay, loader is nothing but when you say Java file name, it locates that particular program, loads it into physical memory, that is our RAM, and it executes, it allows that program to execute its instructions. Okay, it allows that program to execute itself. Okay, its instructions. Okay, we'll see in a couple of minutes few things. Okay, we will try to install JDK, we'll try to install Eclipse. Okay, and then we will, without using Eclipse, how we try to do it, and with using Eclipse, how we'll develop an application. Okay, that we will see. Then we will understand what are the advantages of using an IDE, which is nothing but an Eclipse. IDE is nothing but integrated development environment. Okay, it provides tools for making a developer's life easier, in the sense it provides all the tools necessary for you to develop and much more things. Okay, say for example code completion, whatever it is. We will see when we start using it, we will see all the advantages of using a IDE when we are developing Java applications. Okay, so the IDE that we will be using for our Java training or advanced Java training would be the Eclipse. Okay, Eclipse is a open source IDE. Okay, so we can download it freely and we can install it and we can use it. Okay, so that's why we will be using Eclipse for our training. Next, let's move on to the next slide. Okay, so what we traditionally do when we are learning any programming language, right? We will write one simple program and execute the program. That is called Hello World. Okay, that is the simplest program we start with any programming language. That is the tradition of learning any program. Okay, before that, before explaining this particular program, let's see how to download JDK and install it, how to download the Eclipse and install it. Okay. Okay, hope you can see my browser. Hope all of you can see my browser. Can you all see my browser? Okay. Okay, first we will try to download JDK. Okay, you go to any browser, the search, you just type JDK download. Okay, just search for JDK download. it okay, select that one, whatever it is. Okay, you select that, you will be taken to Oracle site. Okay, just click on that first link, whichever you get, click on the first link, you will be taken to this particular link page. Okay, where you can see all the available versions of, not all the available versions, but the JDK available for different operating systems. Okay, you can see these are all for Linux, and this is for Mac OS X, and this one is for, all these things are for Solaris, and these things are for your Windows. Okay, while downloading, what you have to observe is there are two versions of this Java Development Kit. Okay, 32-bit version and then 64-bit version. Okay, so how do you identify which version you should download? Okay, so let me share my. Give me a second here. So you can do one thing. You can right click on my computer on your Windows, okay, and then go to properties. Okay, in that you can select. Let me see whether I can share that. Okay, so can you see what I am doing right now? Can you all see? Click on computer. Okay, then okay, click on computer. Go to my properties. Okay, you can see your this one, all the things that are there for your system. Okay, you can see the processor that you are using. Okay, you can see the installed memory, RAM, that is RAM. You can see system type. Okay, this is very important. So it is saying it is a 64-bit operating system. Okay, it is a 64-bit operating system, Windows 7 Professional. Okay, so you have to check whether it is a 64-bit operating system or 32-bit operating system. Okay, based on that, based on the type of your operating system, that is whether it is 32-bit or 64-bit, you have to download your JDK accordingly. Okay, mine is 64-bit operating system. That is why I'll go and download this particular operating system. That is Windows, for Windows 64-bit JDK I will download. This is X64 means it is 64-bit operating. Okay. For X86 is it is 34-bit. Okay. I586 is nothing but X86, that is for 32-bit operating system. Okay. Similarly, you can say like X86 for all these things is 32-bit and X64 is for 64-bit operating system. Okay, we have only one version for Mac OS X, that is 64. Okay, we don't have 32-bit now. Okay, so for our convenience, I have already downloaded the JDK. Okay. Okay, so let me go to this. Okay, I've already downloaded my 64-bit JDK. The version of the JDK that we have downloaded is JDK 8 update 60. Okay, JDK 8. Okay, we have downloaded JDK 8. that is the latest version of the JDK 64 for 64-bit operating system. Okay, so that is in exe format. Just download it, double click on it. Okay, it will ask you to it will ask you whether you want to install this particular program on your system. Okay, you say yes. Okay, so it will start to prepare to install. Please let me know when you are not able to see anything here. Okay, so hope everyone is watching what I am sharing right now. Okay, please let me know if you are not able to see it. Okay, so now just click on next. Okay, it will ask for the path where you want to install it. If you want to yeah, we'll take care of that one. Okay, so if you want to install this in some other folder, you can install it. Okay, by default it installs in your program files under Java under JDK 1.8.0 underscore 60, which is nothing but our update. Okay, if you want to change the path, you can change it. Okay, so say for example I have this path. Okay, users Vikram desktop training tools. If I want to install that under training tools, I can give that here. You can remove this whole path. You can do this way. Okay, Q this users Vikram desktop training tools Java JDK 1.8.0 underscore 60. Okay, click OK. Okay, it will show that path, install to this particular path. Okay, and then click next. It will start to install. Okay, it might take a couple of minutes or maybe 5 minutes. Let's see. Okay, it has created the Java folder. Under the Java folder we have 1.8.0. Okay, but it might take a couple of more minutes. Okay, I think it is done. Okay, let it install in program files itself. Now it is installing GRE, which is needed for running any Java applications. Okay. So apart from Eclipse, which is an IDE, right? So there are many other IDEs. Okay. There are some from Oracle. So the most popular one is no, give me a second. Okay, so the most popular one is like your NetBeans IDE. Okay, and similar to NetBeans IDE or from directly from Oracle, we have JDeveloper. Okay, JDeveloper is nothing but kind of like Eclipse from your Oracle. Okay, NetBeans is NetBeans IDE was from Sun Microsystems. After acquiring the Sun Microsystems, they are still using it. That is, Oracle is still using it, and I mean you can get both NetBeans IDE as well as JDeveloper. Okay. I think it is installed now. Okay, similar to that one, we can kind of like search for Eclipse download. Okay, Eclipse download. I click on that, we'll get the Eclipse download link. So similar to that one, I mean like if your operating system is 32-bit, you can kind of like use 32-bit and 64-bit. Okay, so you can download it. I have already downloaded it. Okay, so pending tools. Okay, so it's here. Okay, let me copy this in. Okay, the latest version is Mars. Okay, so we'll go inside. When you download it, it will be in a zipped version. Okay, so you just have to unzip it, extract here. Okay, it will create an Eclipse folder. Inside that, all your whatever the executables, whatever the things that is needed for Eclipse, right? They will be installed in that. Let us go inside the Eclipse. You can see all these folders, all those things, right? Okay, so here is the executable. If you click on that Eclipse, double click on that Eclipse, it will ask. Okay, so just click on run, it will open. Okay, it says Mars, the latest version of Eclipse. So before doing all these things, after installing your JDK, you need to do few things. Okay, let us see. So let us say like we need to set two things. Okay, one is your path variable, and another one is your class path. Okay, so you click on your computer. Okay, go to properties. Okay, then go to your advanced system settings. Okay, then go to your environment variables. Okay, go to your environment variables. You have to set two things. Okay, first one is just set an environment. This is Java home is an environment variable. Okay, so you have to create one environment variable. Say for example, new one, and you have to create Java underscore home. So it should point to the directory of your Java where you have installed your Java. Okay, means we have installed our Java in training tools Java. Okay, this is the path it should point to. Okay, so whenever you create your Java home, okay, so whenever you create your Java home, you just point to that variable should environment, we call this as environment variable. Okay, that environment variable should point to this particular folder, the home of your Java installation. Okay, JDK installation. Okay, then you have to set your path, okay, to the bin directory. Okay, you have your JDK installed in JDK 1.8.0 and your bin. Okay, your bin will have, Java bin will have all your executables, whatever the things that you want to do. So say for example you want to compile. Okay, there will be a command, there will be a file for Java C. Okay, this is Java C. So you want to run, this is the file which will call. Okay, so without setting also you can do all these things, but it will be like you have to go to this particular directory. Okay, you have to go to this particular directory. For example, cmd, okay, cd, paste. Okay, so you have to go to this particular path and then say Java C or Java to execute your Java related commands. Okay, otherwise once you set that path, the path with the Java home, you can give this whole path with bin in the in path environment variable, or you can just mention percentage Java home percentage slash bin. Okay, it will be like this. Either you have mentioned the Java home, right? So Java home is pointing to your this path. Okay, so path you have to add path will be your bin directory. It should not this one. Slash, it should point to bin. Okay, path should always point to bin. Okay, and your class path. Okay, class path should always point to your lib directory. Okay, in this lib directory you will have all the classes needed for your development. Okay, Java classes like which comes with your JDK, right? All those things will be there in that particular lib directory. Okay, so after your path, you have to set your class path. Okay. This is the path I have set. Okay. This is the one. Okay. I have 1.7 in my laptop, so that is what I have set it here. Okay. Okay. So hope you have understood how to install JDK and Eclipse. Please let me know if you have not understood it. Okay. Do you have any questions with respect to installing this Eclipse and JDK and setting the path and class path variable and Java home? Yeah, it will be yeah. So how? So someone is asking like how to install JDK on Mac OS X. Okay, so Mac OS X, it is almost similar to your Windows installation, except that you have to No, 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 you need not have, if you have Mac OS X or if you have Apple Mac system, you can, earlier I showed you in the Oracle site, I showed you like you will have different, or you can say like operating system specific JDKs for downloading, right? You can select, I have shown you like you have Linux specific JDK, you have Mac OS X specific JDK, you have Solaris specific, you have Windows specific. You download the Mac OS X specific JDK, which you see only 64-bit JDK, right? You download that and installation will be similar, like you have to double click on the zip version of a file for Mac OS X and then click install, install, install. So it will install, and then your this thing setting should be like Mac OS X is similar to your Linux OS operating system. Okay, if you want, I can show that as well. Okay, how to set the operating system, but I can take a screenshot. I can take a screenshot and share it. Okay, so I just explained these things because one of the participants was asking how to install JDK on Mac OS X. Okay, I may not be able to show that on show or share the screenshot for Mac OS X. Okay, I can share the screenshot for installing it on Linux. Okay, which will be like almost similar to like how you install it in Mac OS X. Just that your UI might be different. Or you can do one more thing. You can Google it. Definitely, you'll get it. Okay, someone or the other would have definitely shared the screenshots for installing JDK on Mac OS X. Okay, so the software means is it JDK or the Eclipse? So another participant is asking, are we going to use these? Okay, these softwares, that is JDK and Eclipse, you are asking, right? So JDK is a must. Okay, it is a must for developing Java application. Okay, any Java application, as I mentioned earlier. Without JDK, you can't do anything. You can't develop anything. The only thing is you can write your code, but you can just keep it. You can't compile it or you can't run it. Okay, so JDK is the basic necessity or basic requirement for developing your Java application. Okay, and Eclipse, without Eclipse also you can work on Java application. I will show you now. Okay, I will show you. Without Eclipse also you can work on Java application, but you will see what are the difficulties you face when you develop application without using IDE, and how IDE makes your life easier. Okay, so let's try to use our basic editor, that is our Notepad. Okay, for developing Java application. Okay, let me share my okay. Can you all see Notepad? Let me share my screen. So you all can see my Notepad, right? So whatever I am doing, what I do is just we have this particular program, right? The same thing, I'll just copy paste it. Okay, let us indent it. Okay, so what I'm doing, I'm typing the same thing here. Okay, whatever I have copied in that, and I will save it. Okay, the extension for any Java application would be, for any Java application, the source file extension would be .java. Okay, so what I will do, I will write hello.java. Okay, I am saving it under this particular directory. Okay, so I have saved it. I have typed it in my notepad and I have saved it. Okay, now I will go to my command prompt. Okay, so I will go to the path. Okay, when I say dir, it will show you what are all the files are there in that particular directory in Windows. Okay, so we have hello.java. Okay, so when I say Java, okay, Java -version, you should be able to see what is the version of the Java that I have. Okay, the Java version I have is 1.8.0.6. Okay, so I will say, I will first compile the Java file, Java C, Java. Okay, okay, let me type this again. Okay, so now it's compiled. So that issue was because of because I copied it from PPT, right? So because of that, some invisible characters got added. Because of that, we got that issue. Okay, so now dir. Okay, so we see this dot class file. Okay, we will see all these things. Okay, whenever you have a source, Java source, right, that ends with dot Java, when you compile that source file, you get another document or the file that is ending with dot class with the name of the file. Instead of dot Java, you get dot class file. Okay, which will have the byte codes corresponding to your .java file. Okay, we will see what are byte codes, all those things in our next session. Okay, so then you have to execute this particular class, right? Now you have to execute hello. You have to run this program. Okay, how do we run it? We use command Java and just hello. Okay, you see, like you are able to see hello world. Okay, whatever you have given in this particular system.out.println. Okay, whatever you are able to give, whatever you have given in this, the same thing you'll be able to see here. Okay, so this is what we did with Notepad. That is the editor that we used. Okay, let's see how the same thing we can achieve using IDE. Okay. Okay, so let us create one project. We will create one project which should be Java project. Okay, then give some this one. Okay, it says do we have to select Java perspective? Select it. Okay, then go to source, just create a class which is hello. Okay, if you want, we want public static void main function, we will say finish. Okay, it generated all the code for us. This is just a simple example. Okay, so just by seeing this, you can see like I have typed all these things, right? Now I have to type only this part. Okay, this is just a simple example I'm telling. Okay, the use of Eclipse. Okay, so how do you run it? Just click on this particular and run as Java application. Okay, we can see the result here. We need not have to compile. We need not have to run using Java command. Okay, we did not do Java C also. Okay, do you see that usefulness of this particular tool? We will see how it will be more useful. We will see in our future sessions. Okay, so this is the use of advantage of using your IDEs. Okay, it makes development easier compared to without it. Okay, so let us explain what exactly is going on in this. I'll just take another 5 minutes to explain few things here so that we get started with Java. Okay, so here we see a word called public. Okay, this is nothing but a Java. In Java terms, we call this as access specifier. Okay, access means who all can access this particular class. Okay, there are things called keywords, there are things called identifiers, there are things called variables, which are part of core Java basics, very basics of programming language, Java programming language. We will discuss that later. Okay, so this says, this is a access specifier which says that everybody can access this particular class. Okay, so in Java is called as object-oriented programming, right? So in object-oriented programming, there are different things. Okay, so whatever the code that we write in Java, we write it within a class. Okay, the keyword that we use to create any class is class, as I have highlighted here. Okay, so public class means this is a class or code which can be accessed by anyone. Okay, and hello is the name of this particular class. Okay, so what is the syntax of defining class? Access specifier, class keyword, and name of the class. And you have to start, you have to open the flag bracket, and then you have to close the flag bracket. Within this, you have to write your code. Okay, without flag bracket, it will throw compilation error. Okay, so here you can specify. Okay, so now let's get to this particular part. Okay, we have here also you have flag brackets, opening and closing. Okay, and we have public, that is, as I mentioned, it is a access specifier. This is static. We will see that in our next session or in our future sessions. What does this static mean? It is a very important topic. We will explain more on this static in our future sessions. Okay, void is nothing but a return type. Okay, this whole thing, okay, is nothing but what we call as methods in Java. Okay, if someone of you are familiar with the C, C++, the what we call as function in C or C++ are subroutines in some other function, other programming languages. Okay, we call it as methods in Java. Okay, the name of the method is main. Okay, and it takes within parentheses we specify the variables. Okay, first we specify the type of the variable and name of the variable. Here the type is string. Okay, the data type of this particular variable is string. No need to worry too much about it. We'll explain all these things in our future session. Just I'm giving a brief explanation of this particular program. Okay, then if you want to print something on your console, right, like we did here, console is nothing but your monitor where you display your output. Okay, so this is the statement that we use: system.out.println or print line hello world. Okay, within the whatever you want to display on your console, you just write it in double quotes. Okay, hello world. This is a string which will get printed on your console. Okay, what we are doing here, we are defining a class. Within that class, you define a method, and then you just try to print some strings on your console. That is the functionality of this particular class. Okay, so let's stop our discussion at this point. Okay, let's go. Okay, so okay, so before going to what we will cover in our next session, let's have a question and answer session. Do we have any questions? Anyone has any questions? Okay, so one person is asking he wasn't able to make the environment path. So what does that environment, you are not able to make the environment path, what does that mean? So if you can specify what is the operating system that you use and you are not able to make the environment path means what? Okay, so he's using Windows 8. Okay, okay, so what I'll do is I'll try to come up with a screenshot, okay, a document containing the screenshots on how to install on Windows 8, Windows 7 and Linux operating system. If I can get hold of a document which has Mac OS X installation, right, I'll try to get those also, okay, and I'll try to share with everyone, okay, share those documents with everyone, but it may not be possible, maybe it will take a day or two, okay, we will let you know when that will be ready, okay. Okay, so environment variable in Windows 8. So one person is asking environment variable in Windows 8. It is similar to what you do in your Windows 7. Okay. Anyway, I will give all the details how to set up environment variable. Okay. How to kind of like in Windows 7, Windows 8, maybe in Windows 10 as well. Okay. And you can set up all these environment variables. Right? If you are not able to go through all those things, you can do those settings using in the command prompt itself. Okay, so set path. Okay, you can give like, better to always give this path. Okay, then you give the path of your bin directory. Okay, this is the bin directory where you have installed it. Okay, give like this. Okay, now if you just type path, it will show you. Okay, this is the place where you have set. Always whatever you have set last, right, that will be displayed at the last. Okay, this is the path I have set it just now. Okay, earlier it was not there. Okay, so I'll show you it was not how it was not there. Okay. Okay. So let me. Can you all see this screen? Okay. So whatever I highlighted down, right, that is not there here. Okay. See, you can see this particular highlighted one, right? JDK 1.8.0_60 bin, that is not there here. Okay, in this path variable. Okay, so you can do this way as well, but the disadvantage of using this way is it is only, this is one particular session I am opening, right? So it is only kind of like valid till this particular session is available. once you close this command prompt, again you have to set up here doing the same thing. Okay, path is equal to percentage path. Class path also you can set the same thing. Set class path is equal to percentage class path. Okay, give me a second. Okay.